We've all seen it. The woman who seems to leave a trail of drama in her wake, yet she has a mile-long list of what she wants in a partner. She knows exactly what she's looking for, down to the smallest detail. It's confusing, right? How can someone who doesn't seem to have their own life together have such high expectations for someone else? It's almost as if they're living in a fantasy world. It feels like a double standard, and honestly, it is. This kind of behavior can be frustrating to witness. We see this play out in dating apps, in bars, and even among our friends. It's a common scenario that many of us have encountered. It's a phenomenon that begs for a closer look. Why do some people have such high standards while seemingly not meeting them themselves? On the other hand, we know women who are kind, compassionate, and genuine, the kind of people you want to be around. They are the ones who make you feel valued and appreciated. They don't seem to broadcast their relationship criteria as loudly. They go about their lives with a quiet confidence. It makes you wonder, are they secretly just as picky? Or do they have a different approach to relationships? Or is there something deeper at play? Perhaps they understand that true connection goes beyond a checklist. This isn't about judging anyone, but about understanding the dynamics at work. It's about recognizing the complexities of human relationships and the different ways people navigate them. Women who are secure and comfortable with themselves often don't feel the need to announce their standards. They live them. Their actions, their boundaries, and their choices naturally align with what they value. They attract partners who mirror their values because they are already living a life that reflects those values. It's not about a laundry list of demands, but an unspoken understanding of self-worth. There's a quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you want. It's not about being perfect, but about being comfortable in your own skin. This authenticity is magnetic. It attracts people who are on a similar wavelength, people who appreciate and respect them for who they are. This brings us to a crucial point: self-awareness. Understanding oneself is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. Before we can even begin to understand someone else's expectations in a relationship, we must first delve into our own desires and needs. We need to understand our own emotions, strengths, and weaknesses. And, more importantly, we need to ask ourselves, do we embody the qualities we seek in a partner? Are we living up to our own standards? If we want someone who is honest, are we honest ourselves? Are we transparent and truthful in our interactions? If we want someone who is kind and compassionate, are we extending those same qualities to others? Do we practice empathy and kindness daily? It's easy to get caught up in the fantasy of the perfect partner, imagining an ideal that may not exist. But the truth is, there is no such thing as perfect. Perfection is an illusion. We are all flawed, complex individuals, each with our own unique set of challenges and strengths. The beauty of relationships lies in finding someone who complements our imperfections, someone who accepts us as we are, someone who challenges us to grow and become better versions of ourselves, while we do the same for them. Let's be real, we live in a society that often sends mixed messages, especially when it comes to relationships. Women are often told to be beautiful but not too intimidating, ambitious but not too successful, and independent but still agreeable. It's a lot of pressure, and it can create a sense of confusion about what it means to be a woman in the dating world. On the other hand, men are often taught to be providers, protectors, and pursuers. These traditional gender roles can create unrealistic expectations for both men and women. They can lead to misunderstandings, resentment, and ultimately unfulfilling relationships. It's about time we challenge these outdated scripts and create space for healthier, more authentic connections. Section 5. The psychology of projection. Now, back to those women with seemingly high standards and questionable behavior. Sometimes, what we see as unrealistic expectations in others is actually a reflection of their own insecurities. It's a psychological defense mechanism called projection. When we project, we attribute our own unacceptable thoughts, feelings, or behaviors onto someone else. For example, a woman who is deeply insecure about her own faithfulness might accuse her partner of cheating, even if there's no evidence to support her claims. She's projecting her own insecurities onto him. It's not an excuse for bad behavior, but it's important to understand the underlying psychological dynamics at play. Section 6. The confidence paradox. Ironically, those who seem to have the highest standards are often the ones who are most insecure. They might feel the need to overcompensate for their own perceived flaws by setting unrealistic expectations for their partners. It's a way of trying to control the situation and protect themselves from getting hurt. True confidence doesn't come from demanding perfection from others. It comes from within. It's about embracing our imperfections, owning our strengths, and showing up in the world as our authentic selves. When we are secure in who we are less likely to seek validation from external sources, including romantic partners. Section 7. Seeking validation, attracting chaos. Sometimes the pattern of setting high standards and engaging in drama-filled relationships stems from a deeper need for validation. These individuals may thrive on the highs and lows of chaotic relationships because it reinforces their belief that they are worthy of love and attention. The problem is, this type of validation is fleeting and ultimately unsatisfying. It's a vicious cycle. The more we seek validation from external sources, the less secure we become in our own worth. This insecurity can lead to a pattern of attracting partners who are emotionally unavailable or even abusive, because those relationships reinforce our deepest fears about ourselves. Section 8. Building healthy foundations. So, how do we break free from these unhealthy patterns? It starts with building a strong foundation of self-love and acceptance. This means being kind and compassionate towards ourselves, even when we make mistakes. It means acknowledging our strengths and celebrating our accomplishments. It means embracing our imperfections and recognizing that they are part of what makes us unique and lovable. Building self-love is a journey, not a destination. It's a daily practice of choosing ourselves, honoring our needs, and setting healthy boundaries. It's about learning to derive our sense of worth from within, rather than relying on external validation. Section 9. Redefining relationship goals. Once we have a solid foundation of self-love, we can start to redefine what we want in a relationship. Instead of focusing on superficial qualities or unrealistic expectations, we can start to look for partners who are kind, compassionate, respectful, and emotionally available. We can start to prioritize shared values, mutual respect, and genuine connection. Healthy relationships are built on a foundation of trust, honesty, and open communication. They require effort, compromise, and a willingness to grow together. But the rewards, deeper intimacy, emotional support, and unconditional love, are well worth the investment. Section 10. the power of self-reflection. Ultimately, the key to attracting and maintaining healthy relationships lies within us. It's about doing the inner work to heal old wounds, challenge limiting beliefs, and cultivate a deep sense of self-love. It's about being honest with ourselves about our patterns, our triggers, and our expectations. Self-reflection can be uncomfortable at times, but it's an essential part of personal growth. By taking the time to understand ourselves better, we can show up in our relationships with more authenticity, vulnerability, and compassion. And that's when the magic happens. Section 11. Embrace authenticity. Find your tribe. The truth is, there is someone out there for everyone. We all have a unique place in this world, and there are people who will resonate with our true selves. But we're more likely to find them when we stop trying to be someone we're not. Authenticity is the key to forming genuine connections. When we embrace our true selves, quirks, flaws, and all, we attract people who appreciate us for who we truly are. It's about being comfortable in our own skin. So, let's ditch the double standards, the unrealistic expectations, and the drama. These things only hold us back from finding our true tribe. Let's choose authenticity, vulnerability, and genuine connection. These are the foundations of meaningful relationships. Let's embrace our imperfections and celebrate our strengths. Each of us has something special to offer. Let's be the kind of people we want to attract. By being true to ourselves, we set the stage for others to do the same. And let's trust that the right people will find their way to us. Trust the process and have faith in the journey. Because when we are true to ourselves, we open ourselves up to the possibility of experiencing love in its most authentic and fulfilling form. True love and friendship come from a place of honesty and self-acceptance.